Well, here. Shri Radha Govinda Deva ki jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki jai. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Gaur and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yeah. Okay. Reading from Srimad Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 6. Brahma satisfies Lord Shiva, text 40. Satupalabhyagatam atmayonim Sura Sure Shair Abhivanditangri Uttaya Chakre Shirasabi Vandanam Arhatama Kasya Yathaiva Vishnu Satupalabhyagatam Atmayonim Sures Sura Suresh sorry Sura Sureshasaya Abhivanditangri Uttaya Chakre Shirasi Pavandanam Arhatama Kasya Yathaiva Vishnu
Alabhyakatam atmayonim Surar Sureshaya Abhivanditangri Jai Chakre Shirasabi Vandanam
Shirasabi Vandanam
Arhatama Kasya Yataiva
Arhatama
Upalabhyagatam atmayonim
Chakre Shirasa Vibhandanam Tamakasya Yataiva Vishnu Uttaya Chakre Shirasa Vibhandanam Tamakasya Yataiva Vishnu. Save time. Tamakasya Yataiva Vishnu. Satupala Atmayonin Sura Sureshwar Avivambitam Chakre Shirasabhimandanam Tamakasya Yataiva Vishnu. Saha Lord Shiva Tu But Upalabhya Seeing Agatam had arrived Atmayonim Lord Brahma Sura Asura Ishahi by the best of the demigods and demons. Abhivandita Angrihi, whose feet are worshipped. Uthaya, standing up. Chakre, mate. Shirasa, with his head. Abhivandanam, respectful. Arhatama, Vamanadev. Kasya, of Kashyapa. Yata Eva, just as Vishnu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, by Charan Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami, Śrila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shiva's lotus feet were worshipped by both the demigods and demons, but still, in spite of his exalted position, as soon as he saw that Lord Brahma was there among all the other demigods, he immediately stood up and offered him respect by bowing down and touching his lotus feet, just as Vamanadeva offered his respectful obeisances to Kashyapa Muni. Purport. Kashyapa Muni was in the category of the living entities, but he had a transcendental son, Vamanadeva, who was an incarnation of Vishnu. Thus, although Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he offered his respects to Kashyapa Muni. Similarly, when Lord Krishna was a child, he used to offer his respectful obeisances to his mother and father, Nanda and Yashoda. Also, at the Battle of Kurukshetra, Lord Krishna touched the feet of Maharaja Yudhishthira because the king was his elder. It appears then that the personality of Godhead, Lord Shiva, and other devotees, in spite of their being situated in exalted positions, instructed by practical example how to offer obeisances to their superiors. Lord Shiva offered his respectful obeisances to Brahma because Brahma was his father, just as Kashyapa Muni was the father of Vamana. Satupala Bhagatam Atmayonim Sura Suresai Abhivanditangri Uttaya Chakre Shira Sabhivandhanam Arhatama Kasya Yathaya Vishnu. Lord Shiva's lotus feet were worshipped by both the demigods and demons, but still, in spite of his exalted position, as soon as he saw that Lord Brahma was there among all the other demigods, he immediately stood up and offered him respect by bowing down and touching his lotus feet, just as Vamanadev offered his respectful obeisances to Kashyapa Muni. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayati vidim. Yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatam. Hare Krishna. So it seems that the great personalities Haribo. It seems that the great personalities are also, or maybe not also, part of their greatness is that they're very humble. They don't mind to show respect to others. Not only to show respect, but to take an inferior position. This is how Bhagavad Gita begins. Senior Ubayor Madhye, Arjuna requests Krishna, please take my chariot in the midst of the two armies, and Krishna obeys. This is the beginning of Gita, which is the preliminary study, but of the Vedic literature, but all of the world religious systems, they don't even go there, they don't touch on this, how the Lord becomes the servant of the devotee. They don't speak so much on this topic. And this is how Bhagavad Gita starts. So great personalities, they don't suffer from low self-esteem, they're not trying to impose themselves to others. And Krishna, being the greatest personality, he enjoys the most the relationships with the devotees. He is the supreme controller, but he doesn't enjoy so much controlling as much as he enjoys when his devotees take the position to control him, to order him to do different things. There is a verse from Bhāgavatam, Mayi nirbādha hridaya samadarshana Vase kurvanti mad bhakta satstriya satyata. This is a verse which describes how to control the Vedic ways, not according to my way, how to control others. And Krishna says that just like the chaste wife with her service completely controls, subdues her gentle husband, so the husband should be gentle and the wife should be chaste. This is a good combination. In the same way, my devotees, they fully control me by their service. This is the way, not by force. Nowadays, people try to establish themselves. Not only nowadays, always in the material world. People want to make others respect them, they demand respect. But here in this verse, and here in this 6th chapter of Canto 4, we see how the great personalities, they are able to let off the control and still to remain in control. When Krishna decided to follow Arjuna's orders and to drive the chariot in the midst of the armies, he's called Achyuta because, and Prabhupada explains, Achyuta means he's infallible. He remains the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Controller, although he takes the auspicious position of servant of his devotees. We, the conditioned souls, we think that if I take this humble position, that means I'm humble. I have to establish myself, otherwise everybody will take advantage. And Krishna doesn't have this problem. So Krishna wants to experience these relationships, this nectar of rasa with his devotees, and he wants to, for this he wants to, he explains in many places that he doesn't take so much happiness by the reverential Vedic hymns chanted perfectly by the Brahmanas. He enjoys more when the devotees are angry at him. But certain devotees, the pure devotees from Vrindavan, especially the gopis, he enjoys more this reciprocation. And Krishna is inviting us to come closer to him. He's looking for soulmates, in a sense, persons who, just like he, value relationship most. Because if you don't value the relationships, then what do you value? What is your value system? What is on the top? It should be something else. Influence, power, respect, money. And Krishna is not impressed by these things. He has them all, but Hare Krishna. Therefore, one devotee, he was making the point that God has a problem. We also have a problem, the conditioned souls. The problem of God is that he wants to become servant of God. And therefore, he takes the position of Lord Chaitanya. And our problem of the conditioned souls, we want to become God. But we never got. So, in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, there is this interesting, very amazing description. We know from Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada says in Krishna book that Krishna wakes up very early during Brahma Muhurta. Even when he is in Dvaraka as householder, he wakes up early. And queens are not very happy because they want to stay with him. But then he wakes up and he performs his duties. But one day in Dvaraka, Krishna didn't wake up. And he slept in. He was not sleeping, he was depressed. So because of he was remembering the residents of Vrindavan, and he just couldn't face the day, so to say. And this was something unheard of. Everybody was shocked. They were waiting for him in the assembly hall, all the Yadavas, Ugrasena Maharaj and all the others. And Krishna was not coming. And then the devotees were gathered outside of Krishna's room, and they were talking. Rukmini was saying that Krishna is experiencing very strongly separation from his beloved devotees from Vrindavan, and she was referring to what she heard in Krishna's sleep. Sometimes Krishna would say things about the gopis, about the residents of Vrindavan. But then Satyabhama interrupted Rukmini and said, "Why, my dear Rukmini, why only in dream? He speaks about these things also when he's fully awake. He cannot help himself." And Krishna himself, when he finally comes out of his room, he speaks up and he says that I was very happy, completely happy in Vrindavan. And when I came here in Dvaraka, I tried to be the same Krishna, but it didn't quite work out the same. Because the devotees here, my devotees, Krishna loves all the devotees from Dvaraka, from Mathura, from everywhere. He even loves us, the conditioned souls, equally. But Krishna made the point that I try to deal with in the same way, the same expression of love, but the devotees here are more restrained of my position. They prefer to deal with me as the Supreme Lord. So therefore, Krishna says, I tried, but it didn't work out, so I gave up playing my flute. I don't play my flute anymore. Because this is something I do in Vrindavan. So in Vrindavan, Krishna can be truly himself. And because he reciprocates with the love of his devotees, when the devotees, they want to be more official with him, Krishna follows. Yetamam prapadyante, tam statava bhajamyaham. But he prefers when the devotees are more spontaneous with him. And even when you read about the interaction between Nishingadev and Prahlad Maharaj, at one point Nishingadev offers benedictions to Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj, as the pure devotees they always do, he refuses these benedictions. And then the Lord says, yes, I understand, my dear child, you don't want anything. You're a pure devotee. Devotees don't want anything from me. Still, this is my pastime. And I would like to offer you something. So please, just for this sake, for my sake, take something. So I was thinking, we cannot also be very adamant in refusing Krishna's offer for blessings, because benedictions. Because then what is the relationship? We have to reciprocate Krishna. And we see also Lord Chaitanya, when there is a very mysterious chapter in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's called the Lord's attempt to go to Vrindavan. So first of all, if he's the Lord, why would he attempt to do something? This is what we do. We endeavor to attain our goals. We know Krishna is Satya Sankalpa, his desire is reality. Still the Lord attempted to go to Vrindavan. And what happened after spending 2 years in South, the Lord came back to Jagannath Puri, and then the rumors spread. Maharaja Prataparudra was very disturbed because he heard Mahaprabhu wants to go to Vrindavan now. He just came back. For 2 years, they were waiting for him. He came in Puri and for the first time, and then not long after, he announced that I want to go to South India. And everybody was, you just came, and we have to now be separated from you. Then he went for 2 years, then he came back, and then announced, I want to go to Vrindavan. And then the devotees, first of all, Mahaprabhu didn't just go to Vrindavan. That's the important point. He didn't just take advantage of his position as the Supreme Lord. Ekara Ishvara Krishna Rasara Bhitya. This is my desire, and I will do my way, the way I want. He asked permission from his devotees. So there were Ramanandara and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Mahaprabhu humbly submitted his desire, and he requested them, would you please give me permission? This is the culture. For example, when we would take prasadam together, the Vaishnava culture is that if so happened that the junior devotee finishes his meal earlier, he cannot just leave. It's considered rude and culture. That's what of course, sometimes we have to do something and go for Harinam, etc. But the etiquette is that we have to ask for permission. Could you, Prabhu, may I go? This is what the culture people do. So Mahaprabhu requested permission, but then because Maharaja Prataparudra spoke to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, requesting him, please keep Mahaprabhu here. Somehow, devise some means that he doesn't go to Vrindavan. Then two of them, Ramananda Roy and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, they told the Lord, right now, it's just Rath Yatra, it's just around the corner. So please wait for Rath Yatra. Then when Kartik comes, we can go. And then Kartik is the end of the rainy season. And then when Kartik came, they told Mahaprabhu, now it's too cold. It's not good for you to travel now. And then in such way, they again and again, they managed to delay the fulfillment of the Lord's desire. He wants to go to Vrindavan. Somebody may say, well, Mahaprabhu, he asks, but this is just formality. He's the Supreme Lord, and he asks, but of course they'll grant permission. No, it didn't happen. They kept him in Puri for 2 years like this. 2 years. And this is not a material desire, this is a spiritual desire. Mahaprabhu doesn't have material desires. So we can consider also, when we have some desire, can we, and our desires are sometimes spiritual, sometimes they're mixed between spiritual and material. So we have a desire to do something. Can we let off the control and depend on the devotees, ask their blessing, and stay for 2 years? Stand by, and it's a burning desire to go to Vrindavan. It's a spiritual desire, and devotees just don't grant permission, and we just stay. And then after 2 years, after the devotees came for Rath Yatra and went back, and so many things happened, Mahaprabhu finally he went again to the same personalities, to the same devotees, and this time very, very sweetly, again, he humbly requested, and he told them, you are keeping me here for 2 years already with your tricks, and my desire to go to Vrindavan increases. Please let me go. And then when they heard this, the devotees, they felt that it was not proper to play these tricks with the Lord. They gave him permission, and then the Lord started. And then many devotees followed him. Amongst them was, so first of all, the Lord, he asked for permission to fulfill his desires. Then, while on the way to Vrindavan, Gadadhar Pandit came along. And Gadadhar Pandit gave he was Kshetra Sannyasi, he gave a vow that he will never leave Jagannath Puri. And he would stay there and worship his deity. Which deity? Tata Gopinath. A special deity. One of the most important places for our Sampradaya, this temple. The pujaris are very kind. And Mahaprabhu called him, and he told him, my dear Gadadhar, what are you doing? You broke your vow? This is irresponsible. Gadadhar said, the hell with my vow, the hell with my kshetra sannyas. That's what I would say also. The hell, because just a moment of association with you is, I'm fulfilling all thousands, millions of vows, any type of vow. But Mahaprabhu was not happy. He told him, look, you breaking the vow will reflect upon me. You're doing this because of me. So I don't want this. Please go home. Go back. And then Gadadhar was very determined. He said, no, I will not defame you. I'll just follow you. I will not be part of your party. I'm going on my own. But I'll just be next to you. And then this continued for a while. Mahaprabhu called him. And then he continued to travel with him. Then he sent him back. And then the problem with this attempt to go to Vrindavan was that there were so many people following Mahaprabhu. And so many people that at one place, I forgot where was it exactly, but there were so many people that there was just not enough space for these people. So they had to clear up the jungle around the village, the Bengali jungle, back like 500 years ago. How do you clear up a jungle? That means there was so many people, and they broke the fence of Mahaprabhu's house where he was staying. So many people, not intentionally. There were just so many people. The fence and even the wall of the house was broken. And when the Lord met with Rupa and Sanatana, then Sanatana Goswami told him, it is not good for you to travel with such large crowds to Vrindavan. Then the Lord didn't, in the beginning, he didn't pay attention. But then in the evening after, he thought about this. And he decided that whatever Sanatana spoke was true. And he followed the advice of his devotee. You can say Sanatana Goswami corrected him, because the point is, by going to Vrindavan with a large crowds, you attract attention. You are like Mahaprabhu, in his own words, he said, I'm like it's like a military procession, I'm beating the drum to see who am I. So many followers, such a grand procession. And then Mahaprabhu told, Madhavendra Puri visited Vrindavan alone. Yat yat charati shreshtas tatata vetarojana sayat pramanam kurute lokastatam vartate. And then Mahaprabhu decided to go back. He didn't reach Vrindavan, although whenever he goes, he's Vrindavan. When he went back to Puri, the devotees were very happy to see him. He visited the temple, and the word spread around, the devotees came. Then Mahaprabhu embraced all the devotees. And then he told them what happened on the way to Vrindavan. And then Gadadhara was there too. And then Mahaprabhu said, because I sent Gadadhara Pandit back and he was unhappy, therefore I couldn't reach Vrindavan. This is the reason. When we make devotees unhappy, then we cannot attain our goals. So the Lord considers the happiness of his devotee utmost priority, so we should also. Of course, in the material world, sometimes maybe it is not possible that everybody is pleased with us, but at least we should make endeavor. At least the most important devotees, they should be pleased and not displeased with us. It's not a joke when the devotees are not pleased. Some acharyas say that Akrura, for example, he got entangled with this Shemantaka incident, this politics, diplomacy, because he displeased the gopis by taking Krishna from Vrindavan. So if the Lord considers this important, we should also. We should not displease the devotees. So the Lord went to, first of all, he asked for permission. The devotees didn't give permission. He stayed for 2 years. Then on the way to Vrindavan, he took the advice of the devotees that it is not the proper way to visit Vrindavan. He came back and he attributed his unsuccessful trip to the displeasure he gave to the devotees. And then when he was in Jagannath Puri, then he told the devotees, still I want to go to Vrindavan. And the devotees requested him to wait for another 4 months. And then Ramananda Raya and I think Swarup Damodar, then the Lord again, he played again the same game, the same pastime. He again requested for permission. And he told them this time, please be happy by giving this permission. Not just half-heartedly, reluctantly, but give me this permission and be happy, because if you're not happy, I'm not happy. If I know you unhappy, I cannot be happy. So then the devotees, they immediately took advantage of this, and then Mahaprabhu told them, I want to go alone. Nobody should come with me. Devotees, they immediately replied, dear Lord, you himself, you said that our happiness is your happiness. So if you want us to be happy, we're quoting you. So please grant us this desire. Take at least one person with you. And then Mahaprabhu said, it shouldn't be one of my close devotees, because if I choose any one of them, the others will be unhappy. So it should be a new man. And he should be peaceful. By saying this, Mahaprabhu referred to another servant he had, Kala Krishnadas, who was not peaceful. And he fell victim to women, gypsy women. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that if somebody is not peaceful, that means if he's not firmly determined not to fall down, even the Lord cannot give him protection. Because Kala Krishnadas fell down while he was with Lord Chaitanya. And that's quite a remarkable incident. In other words, if you're not very sincere, even Krishna cannot give us protection. And my will drag us away. Then the Lord agreed, yes. And then the devotees took advantage, and they just casually they mentioned, well, just take another one. Okay, just one, another one to carry your water pot and clothes. So there were two. Before the Lord knew, there were not only one, two servants. They accompanied him. And then he started the next day, and he passed through the forest, through the jungle, and then gradually Mahaprabhu reached Mathura, and in Mathura, as usually, he visited the temple of Keshavaji temples, and then he, as usual, he made Prema Harinam. He chanted and danced, and usually what happens when the Mahaprabhu does this pastime, people are just amazed, and they are watching, and they are marveling, and they're just observing Mahaprabhu's ecstasy. This time, a Brahmana, joined Mahaprabhu, which was unusual. And first of all, he offered obeisances, then he just joined the dance and kirtan. And both of them, they were chanting and dancing in ecstasy. And then after this, Mahaprabhu took this person aside in a solitary place, and he asked him, you're elderly Brahmana, you're very sincere. How come you experience these ecstasies? What is the origin of this? What's your secret? And then this Brahman immediately told him, Madhavendra Puri came here and he took lunch in my house. And this is the reason why I have this treasure, this ecstasy. Mahaprabhu, when he heard this, he immediately offered obeisances to this Brahmana, because Madhavendra Puri is his superior. He is the guru of his Param Guru of Mahaprabhu. And the Brahmana, when offered obeisances by sannyasi, he became afraid. So this is also what we should do. When a devotee offers obeisances to us, we should be scared, because this is not a casual thing. Great personality should not offer obeisances to us. We should offer obeisances to him. Otherwise, our religious principles may be in danger, as they like to say in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we should offer obeisances to the devotees. And then this Brahmana, he, by Anumana, the previous time we were talking about different Brahmanas. Anumana is one of using logic, inference. So the Brahmana looked at Mahaprabhu and said, my Anumana, my conclusion is that you must have something in common with Madhavendra Puri. Otherwise, this ecstasy that you show, there is not even a speck of ecstasy can come unless it comes from Madhavendra Puri. So this is my thought. And then when Balabhadra Bhattacharya heard this, he revealed what is the connection between Mahaprabhu and Madhavendra Puri. So then the Brahmana was very pleased. He invited Mahaprabhu for lunch at his house. And then he proposed to Mahaprabhu's servant to cook. And then Mahaprabhu said, no, you'll cook. And I'll accept food cooked for you. Why? Because Madhavendra Puri did it. He already took lunch at your place, and he accepted your cooking. So whatever Puri Goshamira ye acharana say dharmasar. Whatever the great devotee does, ye mahajan vena gata sapanta, then we should follow their example. So he took lunch here, I'll take also my lunch here. Otherwise, if we don't have this guide of the great devotees, then the Vedas, some Mahaprabhu himself, he said, sometimes the Vedas and Puranas and the great sages, they disagree. Of course, they never really disagree, but they apparently disagree. So then what is the solution? We have to see what is the example of the great devotees and follow their example. And we see Srila Prabhupada, when he came, he didn't command respect. He served humbly, just like Krishna serves humbly his devotees. Srila Prabhupada served everyone. In the beginning, he would wait in a line to wash his plates for the bathroom. Prabhupada gave the first initiation, and then the initiates, they left, and Prabhupada, Swamiji remained to clean up. So this is the mood of Krishna and the mood of the great devotees. They don't mind to take this humble position of servants. They, in contrary, they enjoy it. And we should also, as followers of Krishna and great devotees, we should also try to serve the devotees. And because today is the appearance day of Narottama Das Thakur, one of his most canonical songs, we sing this song often. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Karo More Toma Bina Ke Doyalo Jagata Sansare. So in this song, he offers a basis to Lord Chaitanya, to Lord Nityananda, to Advaita Acharya, to Panchtattva basically. And then at the end, there is one very mysterious verse at the end. Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Das. So this is our Sangha. We have the gurus, we have the great devotees, we have our acharyas, and then we have our Sangha, our peers, our friends. And Narottama Das Thakur, he says, Ramachandra, my dear friend, I always desire your Sangha association. So this is where we start our ascending process. Sadhu Sangha, and then we move forward by the mercy of the devotees. So we should never, if we are fortunate enough, if we are blessed with to have friends, devotees, we should never take lightly this, take it for granted, and we should never, even in our dreams, think to it's worth it sacrificing this friendship for name, fame, lava, puja, pratishtha, position, influence, power, money. Don't do this. We'll feel very bad if you do this. So Krishna, this is Krishna's approach. When, and this is the last thing I'll say. When, if you remember this pastime, when Krishna and Arjuna together, they wanted to help Agni because Agni had indigestion. You remember this? Some very pious people performed such elaborate sacrifice, and Agni ate so much ghee that he could not digest this ghee. So then there was this forest with herbs that he wanted to burn, to eat all the herbs, so that he can cure his indigestion. And then the problem with this forest was that it was under the protection of Indra, because Indra's friend was living there. And whenever Agni tried to burn the forest, Indra would immediately pour rain, and then Agni was frustrated. And then Krishna and Arjuna, when they were hunting there, they had time together, as friends do. And Agni came and he requested as a Brahmana, and he requested them to help him. And Krishna and Arjuna agreed. And then he started to devour the forest. Then Indra brought all the demigods. And they fought against Krishna and Arjuna. And Krishna and Arjuna defeated them. All the demigods. Yamaraj came too. Shiva, everybody came. Kartikeya. And Arjuna single-handedly defeated them. With the help of Krishna, of course. I think Krishna was his chariot driver again. Even prior to Kurukshetra. Then Agni came, very pleased, in good health now. You know, when you are sick for a long time and then you recover your health, you're very happy. Then he came and he was very grateful. And he gave many things. He gave, I think the chakra of Krishna. Anyway, I cannot speculate. But he gave gifts. I think he gave the Gandiva bow and the unexhaustible quiver of arrows. Yeah, and then the chariot, he gave the chariot of Arjuna. And then he asked Krishna, so what blessings do you want? And Krishna said, I want my friendship with Arjuna to last forever. Granthara Srimad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, would you like to say something? Thank you for your attention. Yes, Mataji?
Thank you for the next class. Is it working? I don't think so.
Maybe you should take this one.
Well, it's not working.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Well,
Maybe
it's not working.
give Mataji this one. That doesn't go that far. So what to do?
Be on the camera. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you for this class. I think you said in the beginning that something that when Krishna kind of moved from Vrindavan to Dwarka, he had to like change his attitude towards his devotee. He tried to act the same way, but he had to change. I was just thinking, I'm reading this book. It's a famous book, Five Love Languages, right now, and basically, how everything comes from Krishna, that he had to change his love language towards other devotees. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That, he could have just like be, oh, you know what, I'm God. You just figure this out, how you want to worship me. But he didn't do that. So he was very, also like humble position.
Considerate.
And like he was saying that, we have to basically follow Krishna in his, personal approach. So if Krishna did that for his devotees, why wouldn't we do, like adjust our own, learn what other people and learn their love language. Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to respond?
Yeah, I'd like to say something. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. This reminded me about when Krishna married the 16,000 queens. He married them simultaneously in 16,100 palaces, and his parents were present 16,100 times. And each queen thought Krishna is there present just for my wedding. And Krishna, not only that, but he expanded in these 16,000 forms, but he didn't expand just mechanically. Okay, that's me and they have to deal with me. No, he changed slightly, adjusted his form and mood and everything so that it matches the particular queen. So if Krishna does this, why wouldn't we also try to accommodate others? When you enter the room and you see the devotees there, try to see what is their mood. Don't just impose yourself on them. You enter and that's me, the great whatever. Everybody has to recognize and deal with me. Not first take few seconds and see what's happening. What is their mood, and try to act according to their mood. Adjust yourself. That's what Krishna does. Okay, Prabhu, you want to say something? Yeah.
Something more about Narottama.
Narottama Das Thakur, yes. Yes, Jagannath Das Babaji, who was one of the Babajis, the great devotees, he would carry. Was it Jagannath Das Babaji or he would carry these two books with himself, Gorkishore Das Babaji, and he would say that acquiring the love of God is very cheap. It costs only so much paisa. You just go and purchase these two books, Prarthana and Prema Bhakti Chandrika by Narottama Das Thakur, and read them, absorb the mood, and you will attain love of God, Prema. Tulsi Prabhu went there to the Padma River in Bangladesh, where Mahaprabhu left the treasure of love of God for Narottama Das Thakur. And Mahaprabhu would sometimes in his ecstasy he would call out Narottama, and nobody knew who Narottama is, so they would ask, and Mahaprabhu would explain, great personality will appear, and I will leave here the treasure of love of God for him. And then when Narottama entered Padma River, exactly in the same spot where you guys entered, together with Kadamba Kala Maharaj, right? Then the river started overflow, and yeah, these miraculous things happened. Somebody left gifts for you before you were born of love of God, and this is God Himself. So, what kind of personality you are? The first Gaura Purnima festival was organized by Narottama Das Thakur in Keturi. You also went there, right? But maybe I will just take the easy way out. Maybe two people can say something about these places because they're very connected with Narottama Das Thakur. I haven't been there though.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, this place is called Premastali. And yeah, we had the fortune to go there. And Kadamba Kana Maharaj, being a very practical person, immediately he asked where exactly he got the love of God. And they said, well, it's like somewhere here so we can take, but he said, no. Exactly where? There was with us one very senior devotee. He said, actually, it's like 500 meters up the stream, but it's on the other side of the river. And Kadamba Maharaj said, I want to take bath there. They said, no, Maharaj, this is impossible. We don't have boat. How we are going to go there? He said, I don't care. Find boat, go pay someone and bring the boat and let's go to this place. So the devotees, they arranged a boat and brought the boat, and we crossed the river and we went, and they said, okay, this is the place. So we took bath there exactly. Wow. Everyone was very ecstatic. And then Keturi, yes, if you go there, it's a very nice place, beautiful place, and still inside you have few altars and few deities. It's like 5-6 altars, because on this first festival, actually the devotees, they installed few sets of deities. And there were serious philosophy discussions. They rewrote, how you say?
Copied.
Yeah, they copied many of the books of the Goswamis, and they gave them to all the Vaishnavas in Bengal, because the philosophy was a little bit unclear at that time, Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. And every night they would have like crazy kirtans, few hours. And the mood became so intensified, so ecstatic. The last day, personally, Panchatattva appeared on the kirtan. While they were singing, Panchatattva, Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, Prabhu, Advaitacharya, Gadadhar, Shivas, they just appeared. And they started dancing with the devotees. Such a ecstasy it was. And yeah, Narottama Das Thakur, he, to a great extent, actually, he established Vaishnavism in these areas, in Bengal, in West Bengal, in East Bengal, Bangladesh. And we know there was a very strong resistance from the Kas Goswamis. They didn't like him. Why? Because he was not from like high Brahminical family, and they didn't like that. And there was many times they actually tried to sabotage him and to stop his movement. And even when apparently Narottama Das Thakur died, they came and they started criticizing and speaking against him. And his first disciples started crying and praying for Narottama Das Thakur to do something. And then Narottama Das Thakur, lying on his bed dead, suddenly stood up and sat down cross-legged. And a golden thread started shining on his body, proving that he is a real Brahmana. And when all these Kas Goswamis, they saw this thing, all of them, they fell down and they accepted him as a guru, as their spiritual master. And then little later, he died for a second time. He left this world. His samadhi is again in Bengal, on the shore of the Padma River. And this is the place where he asked that he wants to take bath in Padma River, and they brought him there. He was kind of old. And two disciples, they were helping him with the bath, and suddenly they saw how the parts of his body, they are melting, and they are becoming milk, and they are just start going down the stream. And the last moment, they figure out what is happening, and with a clay pot, they managed to take one part of the milk, and they brought this and they made the samadhi with this milk. So it's, yeah, his whole life is special. His teachings are special. His meditation was very deep. All these great personalities, Srinivasacharya, Narottama Das Thakur, and Shyamananda Pandit, all of them, they were like perfect in their meditation, and they're spreading of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Narottama Das Thakur ki.
Just wanted to mention something else in regard to what you said, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, oh, because Gadadhar is not happy with me, that's why I could not achieve my goals. And you mentioned also Akrura, how he displeased the gopis, and that's why he was in a strange situation. And I was reading a few days ago about last time with the four Kumaras and Jaya and Vijaya, when the four Kumaras are cursing Jaya and Vijaya, and there in one of the verses actually, if I remember correctly, Vishnu, personally, he's mentioning, actually, yes, they will have to go to the material world because they displease Lakshmi Devi. And it is mentioned in the purport that one time Lakshmi Devi wanted to go to Vishnu, but Vishnu was taking rest, sleeping, and Jaya and Vijaya stopped her. And she became very displeased, and actually, she did not say anything, but mentally she was not happy. And this brought to their fall down from the spiritual world. So acharyas are explaining that this can be one of the reasons falling from the spiritual world, displeasing the great devotees, or what is the word? Disturbing the rasa between some devotee and Krishna. This can be one reason.
I think time is up. Unless there's some very urgent. Otherwise, Grantha Srimad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande.